Hello, our esteemed viewer. Welcome to another episode, which is episode 13, Mathematics in Eggon. I am Alpha John Akulega, but today our facilitator, Mr. Abashi Adamu Joseph, who is our popular Eggon teacher, is going to be taking us through this class. Please stay tuned and watch and learn how maths is being solved in Eggon.
Good morning, all. My name's Adamu Joseph Abashi, popularly known as Eggon teacher. I'm here to take you in mathematics in Eggon. Today's lesson, mathematics la Eggon, which is maths in Eggon. The topic of today is numbers, which is Eggon. Eggon in Eggon is called numbers. Let's go ahead and say this is 1 with Eggon, we say ori, which is 1. Here we have 2, oha, which is 2. We have 3, atra. We have 4, enyi. We have 5, atno. We have 6, efin. We have 7, afoha. We have 8, afote. We have 9, afunyi. We have 10, okpo. We have 11, okpaching. We have 12, okpaha. We have 13, okpatra. We have 14, okpenyi. We have 15, okpatno. We have 16, okpefin. We have 17, okpafoha. We have 18, okpafote. We have 19, okpafunyi. We have 20, ekpeha. We are going to stop at 20 for now, and then we move ahead and see the groups in number. When we talk of groups in 10, we are talking of ishki okokpo ba iyi evgo. Ishki okokpo ba iyi evgo, that is in group 10. In group 10, we have 10, which is what? Okpo. We have 20, which is ekpeha. We have 30, which is ekpetra. We have 40, which is ekpinyi. We have 50, which is ekpetno. We have 60, which is ekpifin. We have 70, which is ekpefoha. We have 80, which is ekpefote. We have 90, which is ekpefunyi. We have 100, which is endga echinge. 100 is endga echinge. Oguti ekpa okokpo ogbu inzokpo abunzokpo lo mwebzilo 100. That is endga echinge. Having seen this, let us move to how to count from 1 to infinity. How to count from 1 to infinity. La egwomoluma ekamo eti iyevgolo uzgi achinge uyi smanana. Smanana awo infinity la egwon. Mide geshinge yekalo. Let's go to it and see. These are numbers they write up in Eggon and English. Let's see. This is 1. 1, like I told you, in Eggon we call it Atm, which is 1 in weight. 10, which is Eggon Mwebzilo Okpo, which is 10. 100, Eggon Mwebzilo Endgechne, which is 100 in weight. 1,000, Eggon Mwebzilo Izbechne, which is 1,000 in weight. We have 1 million. 1 million, Eggon Mwebzilo in million, and 1 million in weight. Ngumbilo kazedi in million he Eggon kala ene lawo ekabala kakne uchkushimo moya digi moti engla ogbu ibihilo shoshingo mwase eshko dilombo egimo Eggon gi Eggon lazalo lawo 1 million in million echne. Ogis gi million echne geba i billion echne. 1 billion is called a billion, which is 1 billion. Eggon Mwebzilo a billion. After that, we come to 1 trillion. 1 trillion, Eggon Mwebzilo a trillion, and in weight is 1 trillion. Science et mathematics. Eggon Mwebzilo obogme ba a mathematics. Aya kuyo ba wakahe obogme ba a mathematics. Now see the serial and the sign, the Eggon names, and English. 1, we have this sign, and it is called equal. Equal in Eggon we call it what? Alzu. And second, we have this sign, and this one is called not equal to. Not equal to. Eggon Mwebzilo Ozumbo. Ozumbo. Number 3, we have this sign, and which is called almost equal to. Eggon Mwebzilo Weyalazu. Number 4, this sign is called in Eggon Apuro Ozuzu, and in English is called equivalent. Number 5, this sign with Eggon we call it Osusku, and with English we call it approximately. This number 6, this sign is called Osusku Ga Ozu. Osusku Ga Ozu, approximately equal to. Number 7, this sign, Eggon, we call it Lagre, and in English is greater than. 8, this sign, Eggon, we call it Ashkanye, and in English we call it less than. Number 9, this sign, in Eggon we call it Agre Ombole Adu. In English we call it greater or equal to. Number 10, this sign is called in Eggon Ashkanye Ombole Adu. In English, less or equal to. Number 11, this sign, in Eggon we call it Akhenganga. In English, we say most greater than. This sign, in Eggon we call it Ashnganye Nganga. In English, we call it most less than. This sign, number 13, in Eggon we call it Uchku Ekahe. And in English, we call it therefore. Number 14, this sign, we call it in Eggon Egba Endga. And in English, we call it percentage. Number 15, this sign, in Eggon we call it Ofotama. In English, increment. And number 16, this sign, in Eggon we call it Ofora, and in English we call it Nabul. Number 17, this sign, in Eggon we call it Emechingaoma. In English we call it there exists. Number 18, this sign that looks like this one but has a different thing that cross over it. We call it in Eggon Lo Awomambo, La Awombo. In English we say there does not exist. This sign, number 19, we call it in Eggon Nga Ambo Awo Unungu. Nga Ambo Awo Unungu. In English, we call it content as member. Number 20, we have this sign. This sign, in Eggon, we call it Arechre Ishki. Arechre Ishki. In English, we call it element of. Element of. 21, this sign. In Eggon, we call it Zgusku. Zgusku. And in English, we call it intersection. 22, this sign. In Eggon, we call it Oknobga. And in English, we call it union. Number 23, this sign, in Eggon we call it Ogogba Boha. Ogogba Boha. In English, we call it square root. 24, this sign, in Eggon, we call it Ogogba Botra, and in English, we call it keep root. Number 25, this sign, in Eggon, we call it Ogogba Bunyi. In English, we call it fourth root.